The lights are low. Your heart is moving faster than you wanted it to. For a half second, you forget every confident pep talk you've ever given yourself. You feel the fabric slide away, skin against skin, and your mind does the thing it always promises it won't do. It starts screaming questions. Do I look okay right now? What is he seeing? Is this the angle I was worried about? Do I even know what I'm doing? 1,000 thoughts all rushing at once, like glittering fish darting in a bowl. You try to stay calm, yet there's a tiny voice comparing you to every movie, every photo, every memory of someone thinner, younger, smoother. The irony, he's right there, breathing you in, fully present, and you're 5 feet away in your own head. That mental distance is the quiet thief of passion. It's what keeps your body here, but your confidence somewhere else. The gentle truth, the one women rarely admit out loud, is that almost everyone has this moment. Even the most self-assured woman, even the one who posts radiant photos, has felt that internal flicker of am I enough? The nervous laughter, the urge to cover, the sudden awareness of daylight sneaking around the curtains. It's universal. And yet, as your thoughts spin and your pulse flutters, something unexpected is happening on his side. While you're busy examining every imperfect inch, he isn't itemizing anything. He's not analyzing under perfect lighting conditions. He's experiencing something human, something raw, something alive. The irony is almost poetic. The more your mind tries to protect you by analyzing, the more it steals the magic you came here to feel. But what if that instinct to judge yourself is actually the wrong lens entirely? What if he's noticing something you can't yet see because you're too close to it? That's where we begin to shift. Because the secret few people say out loud is this: he's not watching you the way you think he is. If this spoke to you, don't just click away. Carry this energy with you. Hit subscribe and stay magnetic. The truth no one tells you. Let's zoom out for a second. You've been told to look your best, to keep the lights flattering, to make a good impression. Society practically trains women to think intimacy is a performance review scored on symmetry and lighting. So when that first-time moment arrives, your brain jumps into inspection mode, searching for any weakness it could hide. But here's the truth no one tells you: men are not performing microscopic analysis. He's not a judge at a beauty pageant with a clipboard. He is overwhelmed in the best way with the reality that someone he desires is within reach, sharing a space of trust and openness. What captures him is not a measurement, it's energy. It's a subtle frequency that says, I'm here, I'm real, I'm letting you in. He doesn't remember whether you turned left or right first. He remembers the way the moment felt, the warmth in your laugh when something awkward happened, the quiet sigh of relief when you relaxed, the sudden confidence shining through when you stopped posing and started being. While you're imagining harsh spotlights, he's remembering sparks. While you're wondering about your stomach, he's noticing your rhythm with his heartbeat. In other words, his attention follows connection, not critique. It's almost unfair that no one explains this early enough. If women understood how little those supposed imperfections matter, the entire experience of intimacy would shift from fear to curiosity, from proving to feeling. Think about the last time you were truly drawn to someone, not because of perfection, but because of the vibe they carried. Maybe it was the way they smiled mid-sentence, the calm they brought into a noisy room, the unpretentious ease that made you breathe easier around them. That same phenomenon happens here. That's what he notices. The details of your body fade into background. The emotion you transmit becomes the story. So breathe for a second. What if you stopped trying to manage the scene like a director and instead entered it like an explorer? What if the goal wasn't to impress, but to express? Comfort, not choreography, is what draws him closer. That's why confidence, presence, and genuine response, the 5 keys will unravel, matter so much more than surface perfection. They're how a simple first experience turns into something he replays long after the lights go out. So before you overthink the next glance or gesture, pause right here. Because from this moment on, the mission changes. It's not about fixing yourself. It's about understanding what he truly sees when he looks at you. The energy he actually feels. Number one, confidence. When people hear the word confidence, they often imagine a spotlight. Someone bold, loud, striking a power pose, commanding attention. But in the context of intimacy, confidence whispers, it does not shout. It's the quiet steadiness that lets two people exhale at the same time. Think about it. The first time things get close, confidence isn't a performance, it's comfort. It's being at ease in your own skin, allowing the moment to unfold instead of trying to control it. It's trusting that you belong there, that your body is worthy of being seen, that connection doesn't require perfection. Men feel that difference immediately. They can sense whether you're sharing space with them or hiding behind invisible walls. A confident woman's energy tells a story long before she says or does anything remarkable. Her gaze doesn't dart away the second he looks at her. She might even smile as if to say, I see you seeing me, and that's okay. You don't have to move like a movie star. In fact, over-scripted moves usually feel mechanical. What stays with a man is subtler, the way you reach for him without hesitation, the ease of a genuine laugh when something awkward happens, the way you stay connected even in the pauses. Those micro moments telegraph self-assurance more clearly than any perfect pose ever could. Imagine two scenes. In the first, she spends the whole time covering herself, apologizing for small things, adjusting, avoiding eye contact. The room feels tentative. He senses her tension. His mind starts worrying he's making her uncomfortable. Connection breaks like static between radio stations. In the second, she's still nervous but chooses to breathe through it. She meets his eyes, lets a half smile soften her face, maybe jokes about her nerves. The air lightens. He relaxes. The moment becomes mutual instead of mechanical. The only difference between the two scenarios isn't skill, it's permission. The permission she gives herself to simply be, that's confidence. It isn't pretending every inch of your body loves the mirror. It's deciding that tonight you won't waste time on dislike. It's showing up for the present, not for the performance. Here's another reason confidence draws men in so powerfully. It communicates safety. When you are at ease, he feels safe enough to open up too. A confident energy signals, you don't need to prove anything, we're okay here. It melts pressure on both sides. That emotional safety is far more seductive than any outfit or move. If this spoke to you, don't just click away, carry this energy with you. Hit subscribe and stay magnetic. So where does this energy come from? From two quiet internal choices: ownership, claiming your right to be in the room exactly as you are; presence, focusing on what is happening, not what might be judged. Confidence lives in the small gestures that spring from these choices: the steady breath, the unhurried movement, the willingness to initiate a touch or laugh at imperfection. If a light flickers, if a pillow falls, she doesn't freeze, she smiles and keeps going. That unbothered grace is magnetic. Men aren't memorizing measurements, they're memorizing how they felt around you, and that feeling is born from your ease. Confidence is quiet power. It's a candlelight glow, not a spotlight glare. And when you bring that glow into intimacy, it changes everything. Because when a woman is comfortable, he can finally drop his own mask too. He sees someone real, someone worth relaxing into. Now picture this you later that night, lying back a little calmer than usual. No rehearsing, no comparing, just breathing. You linger in the silence and realize the whole moment feels lighter. That's not an accident. Your confidence set the rhythm, and the rhythm you start will echo far longer than you think. A week later, he finds himself thinking about it, not the sequence of events, not the set or the soundtrack, but the feeling. He remembers the way she looked at him right before leaning in. There had been a calm certainty in her eyes, as if she wasn't trying to be perfect, just present. That look replays in his head during the most ordinary moments, waiting at a red light, pouring morning coffee. He's dated before, had flings that felt like performances, dramatic, fast, impressive, and gone. But this is different. It wasn't about everything going smoothly. In fact, a few things didn't. They laughed when they bumped heads, laughed again when the sheet tangled around them. Yet every imperfect beat made the connection stronger because she never flinched from it. Each time she breathed and smiled, and the world steadied. That's the kind of memory that lingers. It doesn't sit in his mind as an image. It hums there as an emotion, a warmth attached to her name. Confidence for him translated as authenticity. He realized later that what felt so magnetic was simply her self-acceptance. She didn't seem to need approval in that moment. She was already giving herself permission. That freedom became contagious. Most men can't articulate this. They'll say, she had a vibe, or there was something about her. What they're really describing is the peace they felt in her company, the rare experience of being with a woman who isn't performing for validation or afraid of being seen. He might even tell a friend, half smiling, she just seemed present. The friend will nod, not fully getting it. But he will, because once you've felt that kind of grounded energy, every rushed or performative encounter afterward feels hollow. That's the power of quiet confidence. It carves a lasting echo, not through grand gestures, but through gentle consistency, through eyes that stay, through laughter that doesn't apologize, through the relaxed pace that says, I belong here. And this reflection sets the stage for something even deeper, because there's another layer beneath confidence, one that turns calm into chemistry and comfort into connection. It's what truly synchronizes two people in a moment, what makes touch feel like communication instead of choreography. We call it presence. Presence is the invisible bridge between bodies and emotions, the steady focus that keeps both hearts tuned to the same rhythm. That is where we're heading next. The moment inside the moment. Number 2, presence. Presence is what happens when your mind finally catches up to your body. Too often, we enter an intimate moment, but our attention is miles away, checking imaginary mirrors, reviewing angles, replaying conversations, planning tomorrow's to-do list. The result, you're there, but you're not here. Presence doesn't mean perfection, it means participation. It's the art of actually experiencing what's happening instead of watching yourself from outside. Think of it like dancing. When you dance, you can either count every step, left, right, turn, step, or you can feel the music and let the movement guide you. The first keeps you technically correct, but stiff. The second turns the same steps into art. Intimacy follows the same rule. The magic arrives when you stop counting. So what pulls you out of presence? Overthinking. The endless questions. Am I doing this right? Do I look okay? Is this what he wants? They might feel useful, like you're gathering feedback, but really they're stealing bandwidth from the one sense that matters most, how you feel. Begin training your mind to swap those anxious questions for grounding ones. Instead of what do I look like right now, ask what does this touch feel like? Instead of is he enjoying this, ask what part of this moment feels honest to me. Instead of should I be doing more, ask can I breathe and let this be enough? Each shift draws you out of judgment and back into connection. When you're truly present, time blurs, seconds stretch. Suddenly a whisper feels monumental. Your body relaxes, your breathing deepens, and the smallest gesture, a fingertip tracing skin, a shared smile feels electric because you're actually inside it. Presence also communicates something wordless. To him it says, I'm here with you. Men feel it instantly. They may not have language for it, but they know the difference between a woman who's physically close yet mentally distant and one who is attuned, sensed, alive to sensation. And the best part, when you are present, you remove the heavy pressure to perform. You don't need new tricks or perfect timing. Even stillness becomes powerful. A quiet pause, shared breath, eye contact held half a heartbeat longer than usual. Presence is the difference between an act and an exchange. Imagine two people breathing together, unconsciously matching pace until exhale and inhale intertwine. There, in that rhythm, connection replaces self-consciousness. That's presence, the moment inside the moment. And it's what he notices more than anything else. Let's slow everything down right here, mid-video, so you can feel what presence actually feels like. Take a second. Drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw. Notice how different your body feels when you stop trying to do it right. Presence begins with awareness, and awareness begins with breath. So breathe in through the nose, slow and steady, out through the mouth, longer than the inhale. That rhythm is your anchor. You can practice presence long before you're with anyone else. Try this. Imagine the next quiet moment you'll have, maybe lying in bed, maybe watching rain slide across a window. Picture yourself noticing each sound without judging it. The hum of a heater, the distant traffic, your own heartbeat beneath your hand. That's the same soft awareness that shifts an anxious mind into connection. Now imagine bringing that state into intimacy. You're there, not analyzing, not rehearsing, but sensing. You feel the temperature of the room, the warmth of skin, the faint mix of breath and heartbeat between you. Every time worry tries to grab your attention, you gently return to sensation, the texture of the sheet, the rhythm of breath, the weight of the moment. That's grounding. That's presence in action. When you allow grounding to take over, subtle physical changes occur. Your breathing slows, your shoulders relax forward, your voice softens, your body language opens. All of those signals are visible to him, even if he doesn't consciously recognize them. He feels safer, more connected, more drawn in. Because your calm energy tells him he doesn't need to chase approval. He can meet you there, equal and real. Presence doesn't demand stillness. It invites attunement. If laughter bubbles up, let it. If a pause naturally stretches, stay there. If a thought interrupts, notice it and let it drift away instead of judging yourself for it. That simple act of letting go is what keeps you both in tune. And remember, you don't need special training. You just need to notice. Presence is not a skill you master. It's a habit of returning back to breath, back to the heartbeat, back to this exact second. Picture the two of you again, some night in the future. The noise of the world fades, only rhythm remains. The way you breathe in sync becomes a language all its own. There's no performance, no checklist, only energy moving quietly between two people who have stopped pretending. That's what he feels, the grounded version of you. The one who's not chasing approval, but sharing experience. And that sensation, the steadiness, the calm electricity, will stay with him long after. Because you didn't just give him attraction, you gave him awareness. Presence is contagious. When you find it, he follows. And when he follows, everything else deepens. So as we move into the next chapter, remember this feeling. Because the moment you let yourself be fully here, he senses it too. And now it's his turn to respond. Number 3, your response to him. At some point, every connection becomes a conversation without words. You say things through the way you move, the timing of your breath, even the silence you allow. And yet many women shy away from this kind of communication. They worry, what if it looks strange? What if I'm being too much? What if it's awkward? Let's look at it differently. Imagine you spend hours cooking a beautiful dinner for someone. They sit down, take a bite, and say nothing. No smile, no nod, no just polite silence. You'd instantly start wondering, did they like it? Did I mess up? Should I change something? That uneasy guessing game is exactly what happens in an intimate moment when your reactions disappear behind self-consciousness. Men navigate by feedback. It's how they know they're connecting, how they decide whether to lean in or adjust. When your response is hidden, he's left decoding clues in the dark. And the tragedy is that he's not reading disinterest, he's reading uncertainty. He starts to think maybe he's doing something wrong. The chemistry falters, not because desire is missing, but because information is. Your response, your breath, your touch, your body's honest rhythm is the map he follows. Now, that doesn't mean faking it or performing some exaggerated movie reaction. Performances feel just as distant as silence. Authenticity is the key. A small sigh when something feels good, a shift closer when the moment deepens, a gentle laugh when you bump heads. These are the signals of real enjoyment. They're simple, believable, human. Here's the psychological reason it matters. Feedback loops amplify connection. When you respond naturally, he experiences success. Success builds confidence. Confidence increases attention. Attention heightens connection. It's a circular current, each of you fueling the other. The more you allow your natural reactions, the more comfortable he becomes giving into his own. You might be thinking, but what if I'm shy? Authentic response isn't about volume or boldness. It's about honesty. If you're soft-spoken, your reaction might be a slow breath, a hand grazing his back, or a quiet smile. Those gestures speak volumes. The goal isn't to perform passion, but to share presence. Think of your body language as a mirror. When you enjoy something, mirror it, move toward it. If something feels off, redirect gently instead of freezing. The act of staying interactive keeps the flow alive and prevents assumptions. Also remember that reaction isn't only physical. Eye contact counts. Meeting his gaze for an extra second after a shared laugh is feedback. It says, I'm here with you. That kind of acknowledgement builds emotional trust far faster than any technique. The more you communicate through your responses, the safer he feels exploring emotional intimacy, not just physical closeness. He learns that he can read you, that you're open to being read, and that builds respect. There's quiet power in giving permission through response. You're not yielding control, you're guiding connection. That's the essence of the feedback loop. And at its best, that loop becomes effortless, like two people finding the same rhythm in conversation. A look prompts a smile prompts touch, touch invites sound, sound invites more closeness. None of it rehearsed, all of it real. So the next time you're with someone, notice what happens in your body when something feels good. Let that information travel outward, even in the smallest way. A deeper inhale, a shift closer, a spark in your expression. That's your truth showing up. Because reaction, when it's honest, doesn't just make you more attractive, it makes you unforgettable. It's the purest way of saying, I feel this with you. Interactive visualization. Let's practice the art of response safely here and now. You don't need a partner. You just need imagination and breath. Sit where you are and relax your shoulders. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Take a slow breath in through your nose, letting your chest rise. Hold it for a heartbeat. Then exhale through your mouth, longer than you inhaled. Feel the tension drain with that breath. Now imagine yourself in a moment of quiet connection, not the movies, not staged, just a real warm experience where you feel comfortable. Picture the atmosphere, the hush, the nearness, the simple awareness of two people choosing the same space. Notice what your body feels like when you're fully present. Your breathing steadies, your pulse finds a rhythm. There's no rush to impress, only curiosity about what comes next. In that space, each reaction feels effortless. A gentle exhale, the tilt of your head, a small smile, these become your language. None of it forced, all of it real. Visualize responding with the smallest gestures of acknowledgement, your breath sensing with his, your hand resting where it naturally wants to, your eyes comfortable, open. Keep the focus on sensation, not performance. The smooth texture of air, the warmth spreading through your chest, the calm anchored deep in your stomach. This is what presence and response actually feel like inside your body. Now imagine that he senses it too. The steadiness, the unspoken affirmation. In that instant, the energy loop closes, his shoulders ease, his breath matches yours. What started as self-awareness has evolved into shared awareness. Hold that image, two people communicating through breath, through small, honest signals. No words, no proving, just mutual recognition. When you practice this kind of mindfulness regularly, at work, in conversation, even by yourself, it becomes second nature. You develop fluency in your own feedback system. The next time you connect with someone, you won't have to think about how to respond. Your body will simply speak. That's the secret most never learn. Responsiveness isn't about pleasing someone else. It's about staying honest with yourself and letting honesty show. Because in the end, every powerful connection runs on the same current, truth recognized in real time. Your truth expressed through your breath, your eyes, your movement becomes the signal he follows. That spark of authenticity guides him more than any scripted act ever could. So carry this exercise with you. The next time you find yourself overthinking, return to that rhythmic breath, ground yourself, let your body react naturally, simply, sincerely, because when you do, communication stops being guesswork and turns into harmony. And that moment, your wholly present, honest response is what he'll remember long after everything else fades. Number 4, after energy, every powerful connection has two halves, the intensity that builds it and the softness that follows it. Most people obsess over the first half, the spark, the passion, the fireworks, and forget that what remains afterward often decides whether the moment becomes memory or just motion. Think about conversation. When words stop, there's always that lingering pause right after, a breath before the next topic, a silence that says either this was meaningful or this was nothing. Intimacy has the same rhythm. What happens after the high point, the gestures, the energy, the awareness, transforms the whole experience. After energy is the atmosphere you create once the adrenaline fades. It's the emotional climate in the minutes that follow. Does your presence say connection achieved or connection closed? Men notice this much more than they admit. They feel the difference between someone who immediately drifts away, scrolling a phone, rolling to the edge of the bed, and someone who stays present a little longer. Those simple moments of lingering contact, fingers tracing skin absent-mindedly, a quiet laugh, shared breathing, send us silent messages. That wasn't just physical, it mattered. The contrast is striking in the disconnected exit. He feels dismissed, unsure whether what just happened carried meaning. In the lingering affection, he senses safety and significance. That second energy anchors respect. It tells him he wasn't merely occupying space, he was invited into it. This echo after the moment doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need candlelight monologues or movie scenes. Small gestures work their quiet magic. Rest your head on his chest, trace your fingertips lightly over his arm, whisper something playful, or simply stay still together breathing. When you express warmth right after, you humanize passion, turning it from an act into a bond. There's psychology behind it too. After intimacy, both bodies are flooded with chemicals that heighten empathy and openness. How you engage during those minutes determines whether that chemistry deepens connection or dissipates as awkward silence. A soft smile, shared laughter, or even comfortable stillness locks in the memory as pleasant and safe. The next time he thinks of you, his mind pairs your face with that feeling. But here's the subtle art. Your after energy should match your intention. If you want shared closeness, show it. If you wanted something lighthearted, let humor guide the tone. What confuses people isn't casualness, it's inconsistency. Passion followed by cold withdrawal sends more mixed signals than words ever could. Consistency communicates emotional intelligence. Warmth followed by care feels grounded, respectful adult. It makes both people feel valued rather than used. You don't have to force affection you don't feel. Authenticity always wins. But if you do feel warmth, let it be known. Even a gentle "that was nice" lands deeper than silence. The truth is, men chase this feeling more than they chase novelty. They remember kindness in the vulnerable aftermath. They keep replaying the sense of calm that followed, the safety of your tone, the way you looked at them after. That's when attraction turns into fondness, and fondness is where genuine respect lives. Everything that happens after the act becomes the emotional punctuation at the end of the sentence. Make it a period, not an ellipsis of uncertainty. Let the energy say, that meant something good, because in the long run, the soft moments after are the ones that make the bold moments before unforgettable. Bridge to deeper meaning. Let's step back a little. If confidence drew him in, presence deepened connection, and responsiveness kept it alive, then after energy is what defines how he remembers you. It's the emotional signature you leave behind, what lingers once touch and conversation fade. When your warmth extends beyond the act itself, you create an energy match, beginning, middle, and end all aligned. That consistency makes everything feel whole. It's what convinces a man that the connection is not just situational, but relational. Think of it as emotional gravity. The softer your energy afterward, the stronger the pull that keeps him within your emotional orbit. He doesn't stay drawn simply because of desire. He stays because of the peace he associates with you. You become the calm after the storm, a rare, soothing energy in a noisy world. This is also where short-term fascination often transforms into long-term respect. Attraction may start with sparks, but it matures in stillness. After energy provides that stillness, a shared exhale that tells both people you're safe here. That doesn't mean every connection must become a grand romance. It means you honor the humanity in every encounter. You carry dignity through the entire arc, anticipation, closeness, and closure. That alone sets you apart. The most magnetic people in the world all share one trait: they make others feel. Not just in one specific moment, but through the continuity of their presence. Their warmth doesn't vanish when the spotlight dims. Imagine this emotional continuity, like a song. The melody starts strong, builds to intensity, then resolves the final note instead of cutting off abruptly. That satisfying completion makes listeners play the tune again. The same concept applies here. Resolve the energy gently and people will remember it fondly. So as you move forward, notice the pattern you create from beginning to end. Does your energy invite depth, or does it rush away from it? Do people leave your presence feeling lighter, seen, safe? That's the quiet mark of emotional mastery, staying warm through the whole arc. And in the next chapter, we'll uncover the final element that gives this continuity its spark, the one quality that defines both attraction and respect. Because beyond confidence and presence lies something completely yours, the unique imprint that no one else can replicate. Unforgettable, imprint number 5, uniqueness. Every woman has asked herself at some point, what does she have that I don't? Usually, the mind jumps straight to surface answers: looks, charm, experience. But the trait that keeps a man replaying your name in his head isn't on any checklist. It's your uniqueness. The small, unrepeatable way you exist when you stop trying to be someone else. Let's paint 2 quick scenes. In the first, she's memorized every expert suggestion, the right lighting, the most flattering formulas, the practiced phrases. She checks each box perfectly, but feels like she's watching herself from outside. When it's done, he walks away thinking that was nice, yet something's missing. The memory fades like a template he's seen before. In the second, nothing is choreographed. She's a little clumsy. They laugh when they bump into furniture. Her laugh bursts out unfiltered, warm, contagious. She says something teasing under her breath that surprises them both, then smiles as if she's just told a secret. When they separate later, he can't quite explain why the whole evening feels etched in color. It's because he didn't experience a production, he experienced a person. That difference between performance and authenticity is what makes encounters unforgettable. Perfection is a stencil anyone can trace. Uniqueness is handwriting no one else can imitate. Your individuality isn't a flaw to manage, it's the very flavor that keeps the memory alive. The way you talk with your hands, the rhythm of your laugh, the unpolished moment that turns unexpectedly tender, those pieces combine into something no one could script. And here's the quiet truth men notice. They notice when you let personality leak through the edges. A joking comment mid-kiss, an unexpected gesture, a moment of eye contact that holds a daring softness. These little deviations from routine are what pull him deeper. Uniqueness doesn't require eccentricity. It just needs permission. Permission to keep your own rhythm instead of matching an imagined expectation. That's why trying to be the ideal often erases what's most magnetic about you. Ideal is predictable. predictable is forgettable. But you, with your specific mix of kindness, humor, stubborn spark, quiet courage, no one else brings that chemistry. Remember, energy, not aesthetics, is what leaves an imprint. When you're unapologetically yourself, you transmit relaxation. The moment feels easy around you. No pretending equals no pressure. That's what people actually crave. Here's another small story. A man once admitted that what he recalled most vividly from a past relationship was the way she tied her hair into a messy bun mid-conversation, pushing strands out of her face while laughing. It wasn't planned, he said. It just looked like her. That's the power of uniqueness. It sneaks into memory sideways through authenticity that doesn't ask for approval. So chase comfort, not comparison. If your energy is sincere, it becomes signature. The world tries to standardize attraction, teaching formulas as though chemistry obeys scripts. But chemistry is art, and art needs contrast. Your quirks create that contrast, the tiny brushstrokes of unpredictability that hold attention. Let your laughter interrupt perfection. Let your curiosity shape how you move. When something funny happens, don't hide the smile. When something emotional stirs, let the warmth show. Those spontaneous moments brand you in another person's senses far more clearly than appearance ever could. Uniqueness is the courage to be recognizable. And the beautiful part is you already own it. It's woven into your instincts, waiting for permission to show. When you trust that, you stop chasing special because you realize you are the special factor, the only variable no one else can copy. That quiet realization is the beginning of effortless magnetism. Memory, anchor, reflection, pause for a moment and breathe that idea in. Everything we've uncovered, confidence, presence, responsiveness, warmth afterward, flows toward this truth: the real you is already enough. What makes someone linger in another's mind isn't precision, it's resonance. It's the way your energy made them feel seen, safe, alive. That is magnetism. Realness plus energy plus presence. Visualize those qualities layering together inside you. Confidence-y, trusting your place in the moment. Presence-y, actually living it. Response-y, sharing your enjoyment openly. After energy, keeping warmth alive in the quiet afterward. Uniqueness, wrapping all of it in your own frequency. That combination becomes your personal imprint, the emotional fingerprint that can't fade no matter how much time passes. You've probably felt this from the other side before. Someone once made you feel something intangible, a mix of ease and curiosity that stayed with you. You might not even remember every detail, you just remember them. They left you with an emotional texture, a vibration that replayed in your thoughts. Now you understand why. They were genuine, present, confident, responsive, kind. Their wholeness became their signature. That same capacity lives in you. When you embody these 5 qualities, you stop worrying about being forgotten because you naturally become memorable. You shift from proving your worth to expressing it. So as you reach the end of this chapter, hold the image of yourself not as someone trying to impress, but as someone emanating quiet certainty. See her walking through the world knowing that attraction and respect come from authentic energy, not performance. Because now you know exactly what men truly notice: not perfection, but presence; not image, but energy; not routine, but you. And that realization leads us to the heart of everything this journey has been building toward. Now that you know what he notices, here's what truly changes you.